up guys, Sal here. So last week we learned some Galaxy Fold 2 information from Ross Young, who's the CEO of Display Chain Supply Consultants. He said that the Galaxy Fold 2 will have 120Hz display. The inner display will be 7.59 inches, while the outer display is 6.2 inches. He revealed the under display camera isn't ready for prime time just yet, so Samsung has decided to use the punch hole camera setup both on the inside and outside display. Also, the Fold 2 will have the support for S Pen, which will give it a distinct edge over the competition. Last week, Ross also mentioned that he will reveal the price, camera details, and the launch date of the Galaxy Fold 2 soon, and today he's back again to fulfill his promises. First up, the Fold 2 will have a triple camera setup with a configuration of 12, 16, and 64 megapixel cameras with dual optical image stabilization, just like the previous Samsung flagship phones. Interestingly, Samsung used a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera on the S20, but they are using a 16 megapixel on the Fold 2 for some reason. The 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor on the S20 is a bigger sensor and takes better ultra-wide photos, so the use of a smaller 16 megapixel ultra-wide would be an interesting choice. Maybe it has to do with the spacing. Bigger ultra-wide sensors make the device thick, and the last time we heard, Samsung wants to make the Fold 2 lighter and thinner than the original Fold. Anyway, Ross mentions that there is a hard coating on top of the ultra-thin glass on the Fold 2, which will help take notes with the S Pen without the display getting scratched. Now, we don't know yet whether Samsung has made a custom S Pen just for this, or they're going to use the same one from the Galaxy Note series of phones. Ross didn't mention anything about that. Hopefully we'll get to know soon enough. Moving on, the price. A few weeks ago we learned that Samsung will offer 256GB variant of the Fold 2 and not just 512GB as they did on the original Fold. And we expected the price would go down because of this, and turns out that is indeed the case. Ross said that the Fold 2 will be priced between $1,780 and $1,980. Ross believes that Samsung will price it $100 less than the original Fold 2 at around $1,880, which is impressive considering the fact that the Fold 2 offers some significant upgrades over the original Fold, such as a bigger and better 120Hz display, a bigger outer display, S Pen support, improved camera, and most importantly the Snapdragon 865 with 5G. That's very expensive and arguably the biggest reason phone prices in 2020 have risen significantly. Finally, the launch date. Ross said Samsung will launch the Fold 2 alongside the Galaxy Note 20, which will be unveiled in August, and the phone will be available to buy for us in September. Ross also mentions that the current pandemic will not affect the release schedule of Samsung flagships, at least for now, which is good news considering Samsung's biggest rival, Apple, is deciding to push the release of iPhone 12 devices a month or two from their actual usual launch, which is September. Of course, with that being said, it's worth mentioning that Ross Young is the CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants, so I don't think there's a need to take this information with this. Anyway, let me know what you think about this down in the comments, and as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.